Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about slope and how to find it. We're going to be looking at some graphs and trying to determine the slope using 2 points. And then we're also going to be using a formula. This is going to be a combination of 2 different pages or 2 different worksheets, but one video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So rate of change. Rate of change is a ratio that shows how one variable changes with respect to the other. Changes with respect to another. And on a linear graph, or a graph that is a completely straight line, this is called the slope of the graph. And you might be asking, well, what is slope? Well, slope is written as a ratio of the vertical change, or in other words, the rise, to the horizontal change, the run, between any 2 points on a line. This remains constant for any 2 points on the same line, and the slope is written as a fraction in simplest form. So fraction in simplest form. And in general, the variable for slope is going to be m. Okay. We have 4 different types of slope. The first type is positive slope. And it looks like whenever you go from left to right, you're trending upwards. The other option is negative slope. So going from left to right, you're going to be going downwards. 0 is a completely flat line. So this is a slope of 0. And then we also have a slope that is undefined. And that is a completely vertical line. Undefined. And those are the 4 different options that we have. Okay? Next, we're going to be finding slope on a graph. So, we have the m is equal to, again, it's the rise over the run. Or in other words, if we take a look at number 1, we're going to be taking 2 points. In this case, they already have them labeled for us. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to count how many blocks we have to go up or down to get to the next point. So if we start at this point and we're trying to go to this point, we have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks. So our rise in this case would be 7 over the run, and the run is the amount that you have to go left or right to the point. So starting from this point, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 7 over 4 is our slope. Okay, number 2. For this one, we have our 2 points here and here. So let's go ahead and find our rise. So let's start from this point this time. We're going to go down 1, 2, 3. So since we're going down, it's going to be negative 3 over. And let's figure out the run, or in other words, how many left or right. In this case, we're going to be going right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our run is 9. And if you notice, this fraction is not in its simplest form. In other words, we're able to reduce this a little bit. So this reduces down to negative 1 over 3. And that is our slope for number 2. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3, we have our 2 points here and here. Remember, we're trying to find rise over run. So in other words, how do we go from here to here? So, do we go up or down any? No. So our rise in this case is going to be 0 over. And it looks like we go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 0 over 4. And 0 divided by 4 is going to be giving us 0. So in other words, the slope for number 3 is 0. And number 4, we're going to be going from this guy to this guy. So our rise in this case would be up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. How many left or right do we need to go? Well, that's 0. And if we try and put 5 divided by 0, that's going to give us an error, so we're going to write undefined. And that's our slope for number 4. Okay? If we move on to the second page, I want you to do 5 through 16 by yourself. It's the same exact process. You have 2 points on the graph. Make sure to reduce your fractions to the simplest form. And remember that if you have to go up, it's positive. Down, it's negative. If you have to go left, it's negative. If you go right, it's positive. So just to reiterate, number 6, we have these 2 points here and here. The rise in this case, we would need to go down 1, 2, 3. So that would be negative 3 over the run, which we need to go to the right 1, so that's going to be a positive 1. And in order to reduce this, negative 3 divided by 1 is negative 3. So that is our slope. Again, the rest of these problems are yours to do on your own. Just make sure that you have them completed before you turn this in. And let's move on to the second packet that we have. In this packet, we're talking about the slope formula. So the slope formula is used to find the slope between 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. The formula is as follows. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This formula tells me that we're looking at the change in the y direction over the change in the x direction. So let's go ahead and go through some examples. So if we look at number 1, we have 1, 1 and 4, 3. Remember, our formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And all those matter is that we're going to take the second y value, so in other words 3. So we have m equals, we have 3 minus the first value, it's going to be 1, over 4, which is the second x value, minus 1, which is the first x value, and then we're going to simplify this. So 3 minus 1 is 2, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So the slope for number 1 is 2 over 3. Okay? Let's go over number 2. So we have negative 2, 4, and 10, negative 2. So we have our formula. We take the second y, which is negative 2, minus 4, over 10, minus negative 2. Okay, negative 2 minus 6, that simplifies to negative 6. Sorry, I meant negative 2 minus 4, that simplifies to negative 6 over 10 minus negative 2. That's the same thing as 10 plus 2, which is 12. And this is able to reduce, so we have negative 6 over 12. That's the same thing as negative 1 over 2, and that is our answer for number 2. Next, we have number 3. We have the 2 points -4, 5 and -8, -5. We take our formula. We're going to take the second y, so -5, minus the first y, over the second x, minus the first x. -5 minus 5 is equal to -10, over -8 minus -4. That's the same thing as -8 plus 4. It's going to give me -4. These things can reduce, so that gives me a positive 5 over 2. So the two negatives cancel, and then 10 over 4 can be reduced to 5 over 2. And that's going to be our answer for number 3. And 4 through 12 are yours to do by yourself. Next, we have the sometimes we have to complete the ordered pairs using a given slope. So in other words, we're going to be working backwards. So if we're given the points -5, 6 and 5, y, and we know that the slope is -4 over 5, we're asked to find y. So remember our formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Well, we know what m is, so we have -4 over 5 is equal to y2, which is y in this case, minus y1, which is 6, over x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is -5. If we simplify this a little bit, we have -4/5 is equal to y minus 6 over 5 minus -5. The same thing as 5 plus 5. That's going to be 10. And now we have to cross multiply. So we have -40 is equal to 5 times y minus 6 in parentheses. Distribute the 5. We have 5y minus 30 is equal to -40. In order to solve for y, we're going to add 30 to both sides. We have -10 is equal to 5y. We're going to divide by 5 on both sides. And we have that -2 is equal to y. And that's going to be our answer. Okay? Let's try another one. So, we're going to work on number 13. For this one, we have the points -3, -2, and x, 6. And we know that our slope is 2. So we know that our slope is equal to 2. And that's equal to y2, which is 6, minus y1, over x2 minus x1. If we simplify this, we have 6 minus -2, which is 6 plus 2, which is 8, over x minus -3, which is x plus 3. We know that's equal to 2. Let's change the 2 into a fraction, so 2 over 1, and cross multiply. So we have 2 times x plus 3 is equal to 1 times 8, which is 8. Distribute, so we have 2x plus 6 is equal to 8. We're going to subtract 6 on both sides. That gives us 2x is equal to 8 minus 6, which is 2. We're going to divide by 2 on both sides, and that gives us x is equal to 1. That's our answer for number 13. Number 14, I want you to try by yourself. Your final answer should be x is equal to -2. Okay. 15. Actually, I want you to try the rest by yourself. I'll go ahead and give you the answers. 15 is y is equal to 5. 16, x is equal to 8. 17, y is equal to 9, 18, x is equal to 16, 19, y is equal to 8, and 20, y is equal to negative 6. If you have any questions about these, please let me know. That's it for the video. Remember that on Fridays, I will be available on Zoom from around 9 o'clock until, I would say, around 2:30, 2:45. And, of course, if you need anything, feel free to text, email, or message me on LiveGrades. Be looking for the exit slip and homework to do, and I hope you have a wonderful day.